last week, super fire week. Um, really just you know played it how it should be played. So come Tuesday, where is? I can't find my markup. Weird. Let's see. 1 second. So, so I guess I don't have my markup from last week, which kind of sucks. But dang, that's kind of ass. I'm not gonna lie. Let's see. So basically, last week, I caught the market maker sell model via ES, um, and it was very clean, a lot cleaner to me as far as price action compared to Nasdaq, and then the market maker buy model via Nasdaq NQ was a lot cleaner for me. So I actually took two trades, traded. I mean, I took a scalp on Wednesday, but I normally trade Tuesday through Thursday. 70% of my losses come from Sunday, Monday, and Friday, so I tend to just sit out. Um, so yeah, I'll get right into it. So basically, last week, we ended up taking out some highs. We had some SMT divergence with Nasdaq. We could not break that 5:30 a.m. price, right? So the weakness in price from Nasdaq made me look at ES rather than taking a trade in Nasdaq due to the SMT. So 5:30 price got taken out, right? Boom. So this is pretty much the SMT. You can see it a little better on a lower time frame, but for Nasdaq, I want to show this. So we couldn't break that 5:30, 5:45 price, right? So weakness in Nasdaq kind of showed its hand, right? And then something that okay, there's my markup. So nice. I'm glad my markup came back because I did not want to. I don't want to take up too much time. I just want to be concise. I got some Easter plans, and I'm sure you guys do too. If you celebrate, if not, cool. That's cool too. Um, so basically, right? Let's go to the 4 hour. See what I was looking at, right? And I'm gonna be going over some journaling as well. I have a journal entry data log that I would like to go over. I need to make a new PDF so I can send it out into the chat. But yeah, so basically, 4 hour consequent encroachment from February 14th, right? So February 14th, I would have loved to seen. I was pretty much aiming for this to get tapped into and have a hard rejection as we did, and we had these equal highs 4 hour. So that's 12 hours of equal highs. As ICT says, smooth edges got to get turned jagged, right? So once we tapped into that and I saw the SMT divergence on the lower time frame, I was, more so refining down. Um, and basically, when I'm catching my market maker sell models and buy models, I tend to look for a fair value gap and a market structure shift, and a breaker structure on the lower time frame. So this lower high, right, and this lower high, right, we broke through that lower high, or yeah, that lower high, creating a lower low, boom, and then we had a displacement or an FVG at that 4 hour buy side liquidity, right? So time and price, this was right at the time that I love taking trades, and I'm pretty positive there was some news, right? Let's see. Let's go back. let's go back to right. Whoops. Here, let's go back. Okay, one sec. Oh, I think I have it on the wrong setting. No? Let's see. Why isn't it showing this? Okay, boom. So basically, right? So Monday we had the PMI, and Tuesday we had ISM PMI, Jolt's job openings. I was not expecting as hard of a distribution as we got, but I was targeting like the 4 hour lows. So basically, let's see. With that high impact news, it played out pretty well. So always pay attention to what time. So my personal charts are on PST or for time, but my charts are not. So basically, you know, I'm basing my charts off of EST, but I always have my news based off of the time. I don't know what just happened. My trading views kind of been glitching out lately. I don't know why. So let's see. So with that, my trading views just kind of tripping lately. So let's see. We have this 5 minute FVG, and what time was it? 8 a.m. So 8 a.m. I'm pretty sure I took my sell entry at let's see. I have it all marked up for this class specifically. I took my entry at, yeah, it was 5:36. So I was in right here above this, anticipating that we were gonna take out this low, creating a FVG, and keep moving to the downside. I was targeting these equal lows, right? So off rip, I'll pull up the risk reward calculator. So I was anticipating that this was not going to get filled and going down to these equal lows, right? So that's about a 1 to 7 risk reward. Let me get that text color. Right, so 1 to 7 risk reward. Right, so targeting 20, basically 20 handles, because an overextension will give you 20 handles, right? So, but safe TP was at 18, and then I'll chop down to the lower time frames. Obviously, I was targeting this as well, which would have given you a 1 to 12 risk reward. Targeting 31 handles. I dropped my executions and my P&L, just to back that, because I do like to stay disciplined to my terminus and my entries. So with that being said, that market maker sell model and buy model, I've noticed when we take out a higher time frame PD array, I mean, we had multiple confluences, 4 hour BSL, consequent encroachment, and also taking out that 5:30 price. Let's see, or that 5 a.m. price. And then off of the daily, we took out what? We took out Monday's high, right? So that was a perfect setup for me. For me personally, I love that. I love that model. And at these 4 hour buy side liquidity and PD arrays, the higher time frame PD arrays, when the market maker sell model or buy model starts to form, it takes about 30 minutes for it to start panning out. which means like you'll start to see a reaction in about 30 minutes, like a hard reaction. So me, I was in right here on the top of this candle right here. My entry was, I think on my broker it was different, but yeah, that doesn't really matter. You could look at previous text chats or previous messages I sent. But after that, you know, so basically, I mean, it took a little more than 30 minutes, but I like to give it like 45 to an hour, especially if market open hasn't opened yet. Um, and again, it almost came all the way back to my back to my entry, but I just re-entered again and put my stop loss where I would, and it played out perfectly. I anticipated this since we created more equal lows. I mean, we were chatting in the chat when this was occurring. Um, and I even said I'm anticipating this 47.25, so in a quarter, which would be an Asian low, a previous Asian low from Monday or after Monday, right? So basically, this Asian low, I was targeting that, and it also has equal lows. So now, if we get a consolidation during Asia, well, we should get a run up in London, right? And if we get a hard run in London, normally, except on a Tuesday, 75% of the time, we create the higher low of the week, um, right? But normally we get a consolidation via AM session. But this was the manipulation or accumulation, manipulation, and distribution, right? So everything in terms of market structure, I like to see. We had a market structure shift right here, boom, FVG fill, and then shred to the downside, created more equal lows, which I could have just waited for this entry, but I know I'm very aggressive with my entries. I'm a very aggressive market executionist, so I don't normally wait, and I wait until I get that confirmation, and then I'm holding because I scalp to swing most of the time. So I technically take like 5 to 10 handles, and then I reevaluate the trade, see where we're going. So we created more sell side liquidity right here, more equal lows, right? Perfect, right? And then we created this breaker, came and broke the highs. At 10 a.m., this would have been a nice entry, 10:10, and that 10:05 price, I want to see hold. I want to see that area hold, especially when I'm in an entry, because basically this was like another market structure shift. And if we closed back into this range, I'd anticipate into this specific range, I would have anticipated, well, I did anticipate that we should not close back above this area because this was more so the manipulation, right, through London. So with that, that was a perfect market maker sell model. I had an FVG all the way down here that I did not hold for, and I did not regret it one bit. But this was a perfect textbook market maker sell model. Time and price intertwined with it as well. So accumulation, manipulation, distribution, right? And you can most of the time target the previous day's low. So for me, I was looking for Monday's low, right? And we snatched that on Monday, which kind of gave me the analysis that I was looking for this area to hold as well. And I'll get into that. But again, I caught this market maker sell model, right? Super clean. And you don't really want to hold through, like, I'm usually out of my trades by 3. So 3 hours before market close. That's 1 p.m. my time, or yeah, so 1 p.m. my time. So 12 my time. 3 but I usually close around 1 my time, so that'd be like 4, right? Just because I don't want to deal with the consolidation, and most of the time, it can come back and consolidate, so I just don't want to deal with it. As you can see here, 2 p.m., 3 p.m., we started to stop and reverse, which I personally, for me, I scalp to swing intraday, so I really don't want to keep holding, but I did hold a runner all the way into here, but it hit my stop loss at 4123, and I was not mad about that. So yeah, basically, and then so let me go into that market maker buy model via NQ. So basically, last week on NQ, I was looking for the market maker buy model into this 1 hour or 4 hour breaker on a higher time frame. A when we break above a higher time frame point, you can use that as a breaker. So that's really how I use this. And it played out pretty nicely. ICT says when we crack above an old high, a daily high or a 4 hour high, you can use that as a breaker block, right? So, sometimes you can take, if you get the wrong entry, you'll aggressively take drawdown, but it'll consolidate right away. And I try to get in at a good price. I actually only took about $8 drawdown. So eight handles, excuse me, 8 handles, right? So basically, I was in at 863, so that would be 963 on my broker, right? So 863, 963. So let me drag out my areas that I had targeted, right? And again, smooth edges got to get turned jagged. We had these Asian highs right here, right? So I'm still targeting those, and I still would like to see those get hit. And I was also targeting these equal highs up here. But as Kit said, I want to see this. Let's see, higher time frame. I would like to see this. Pretty much this high to get taken. I really want to see this high get taken, or at least trade into this area, for the swing. But let me get into the market maker bot model, getting ahead of myself. So let me take off these. So basically, 4 hour breaker, right? We we held that pretty nicely. And that blue is a 1 hour FVG, right? So let me shrink down the. So basically, 4 hour breaker, refined down into a 1 hour FVG, and that was the top of a old daily breaker block, right? And necessarily when I have a level marked out on my fibs are more so a swing point, right? So we came and tapped that OTA. I don't really want to see that come and get tapped into for a while. Like we should sell off eventually, but I don't want to see this area get tapped into for a minute. So with that being said, obviously we have all these areas of imbalance down here as well, breaker right here, but we had a daily order block that we traded from. Um, right. So technically this would be the top of the daily order block, um, and this breaker too. So there's just multiple things that I personally see. I'm not gonna dive too much into that. I just want to get into the market maker sell model, stay on track. So, or market maker buy model, sorry. So after this was rated into, I noticed as we were coming into this POI, we started stopping, just mad rejection, wiki, inefficient delivery. Like that's just pretty inefficient. We didn't take any highs. It was just, you know, like leaving this gap pretty inefficient. So that all plays into my analysis as well. And into the 1 hour, right? Into the 1 hour, that red is basically consequent encroachment of this OB that I was looking at off the 1 hour. So technically like a 3 hour order block, right? But we also had this 1 hour FVG right here. So we came in and tapped perfectly into the bottom of that FVG, right? So with that, let me get rid of this breaker, shrink it down. So with that, you know, for me, I came down to the 3 minute. One of my favorite entry points is 3 minute, right? And I'm gonna start using that 45 minute. That's some super sauce, right? So I think I've heard Kit talk about this pattern before, but this is basically a 3 drives pattern, the wolf pattern. Um, and I was personally in a little too early. I can admit that. I was in at 9:45 on this down close. But I mean, if you, in hindsight, you know, I was only taking, to the bottom of this FVG. That's where I was really looking for. So really, I mean, I could have risked $100 and made, you know, like two grand, right? You know, that's pretty light, but you know, I've been taking it pretty easy, trying to get my psychology right, and you know, that's something that you really got to do. I'm not too focused on the money, and I don't want to I don't want to risk too much where I feel like it's too much. So I'm gonna be stepping into a funded account here soon. But this was a 1 to 14 at Terminus 1, right? And then in the chat, I was outlining these areas that I wanted to see, right? So this Sibi, these two Sibis, I wanted to see them both create support at these Sibis, right? And we did, right? So we created support at this Sibi, and I was basically out after this choppy consolidated, you know, channel. I was like, okay, this turned into a high resistance liquidity run after I caught the low resistance liquidity run, so I just ended up closing. Um, I got stopped out. You know, I was aiming for 20 points into the bottom of this, but I got stopped out. Um, so yeah, basically that's what I aim for. You know, I aim for these 1 hour Sibis or Bissies if you're in a cell, and I want to see some kind of support create and kind of show me its hand, right? So again, this was that market maker buy model. I had that last week, um, or yeah, last Sunday. You know, this was the market maker buy model I had. So you know, Sibi created, boom, created support at it, broke structure, or was it this? I'm not sure. I forget. And then for total, I want to see us come push into this previous new week opening gap from Friday the 31st to it was Sunday the 2nd, right? So I want to see us come and push into this again and see what we do. This is my next terminus for next week, right? So a good 100 handle move. I mean, this was also a nice move that we created right here as well. You know, we had this 1 hour OB, right? Or I mean, technically it'd be like a 30 minute or 45 as Kit was teaching us. But we came and reclaimed this imbalance right here. You know, accumulation, manipulation, distribution, right? So there's multiple entries that you can catch. It's just pick your poison. Me personally, I like to wait for Tuesdays and Thursdays. That's my most high profitability days. I caught the sell on here on Tuesday, and then on Nas caught the buy on Thursday. So I actually did catch this sell too on Wednesday, um, which I can go into as well. Just more so of a scalp with news. So right? I noticed that we held this consequent encroachment of this Asia session, right? London, more consolidated, right? More of an accumulation, and then this Judas happened, taking out consequent encroachment highs of the Asia, and we held that consequent encroachment pretty well. So when I woke up and we had a news release via 10 a.m., right? So 10 a.m., for me, that would have been 7, which is a perfect time. The 10 a.m. macro, 10:05. I love entering at 10:05. I forget what time I entered exactly, but I can tell you right here just by looking at it. So I was mainly focused on this FVG right here, right? So we came and slapped that, and if you put it up to right here, we held the first quadrant of this FVG, and I was in there instantly as soon as I seen it, because on my MT4 or MT5, I mean, how the candle was delivered, I could just tell that it was super inefficient. Like the 1 minute candle just closed and this just opened up instantaneously bullish. Like it was a little different price action on my MT5, but I caught 80 handles off of this move. Boom. I anticipated this gap not to get filled just because of how we broke structure right here. And so, yeah, I, I held for like 83 points. So let's see. Again, I usually like to keep my stop loss under 5 to 10 handles on NAS, and it's very doable with the entries that you can catch. So as you can see, I could have held for a lot more, but I was more so focused on the buy, just due to this area. So that's where I took my. I mean, I could tell you exact price. Let's see. And I'll be opening up for questions after this. Let's see. So 83, 13,051. So I would have been 13,151. So I guess I was in a little lower. Is that 51? Hold on 1 second. Yeah, 51 and a quarter. So 151 and a quarter. So, I mean, 20-point stop loss, but since this already got hit, in my head, I was just gonna risk to that high. So $10, 10 handles. So good 1 to 8. You can definitely eat off that. If I popped a little more or took like equivalent to one contract, I would have made 800 off that. Risking about 100. So, risk to reward is very key to me. Um, I base all my P&L off of risk to reward. I don't want to take too much risk if it's over my risk management system. So I mean, it sounds crazy, but last week, this was what I was able to put into my account because taxes, all that, yada yada. I only put $100 in, and it's currently at 700. Just using O1, so it's definitely doable with the smaller account. I don't recommend it as like starting out because you can definitely blow out easy. So yeah, having your system is very key. But yeah, so that was basically it for me. And also, I wanted to add, once we close back into this 4 hour, see, look how that 4 hour wick completely did the damage. I mean, how many stop losses did we hit right here? You know what I mean? It was a lot. So I know that. just how price is delivering. There's definitely retail buying. Here, let me get rid of this risk reward calculator. We're definitely bought. Retail was definitely buying off this. They could have caught a good bid, but I guarantee they didn't. Um, just due to the fact that we opened right here, created the high, boom, slammed down, closed right here, and this was the low. So knowing the open, high, low, close, very, very, very key. If you were just watching this on the 4 hour like I was, you could have definitely seen that this was very, very manipulated and inefficient how it was delivered. And I haven't even got into my. Hold on, let me get some water. I haven't even got into my dollar analysis. Just 1 second. So basically, next week I'm gonna be looking for this new week opening gap to come and get filled, but I do want to see these highs to get taken. But how we closed on this 4 hour, we closed back into this range, right? We did not like as soon as we closed, it was just instantaneous. We never really created a low because this manipulation candle was super heavy, right? So like once you see this, yo, who had a question? You good? You can talk. If anyone has questions, let me know. I'm just going off right now, just kind of spitting. So, but basically, like once this 1 hour FVG filled, you want to see that top of the FVG kind of hold. And once you kind of look at it, like once you box off the range like that, it kind of makes sense, right? Like why I would target that. And I was targeting this as well. Um, right? So, I would have been targeting. I want to see us come into this area again and push the highs. I have not checked any news yet. But if there's any questions, I'm gonna get into my journaling. How I personally journal. So if anybody has questions, please feel free and ask.
Quick question.
Yeah.
When you're figuring out like whether it's gonna be a buy or sell model, I guess like either intraday or like throughout the week,
Hmm.
is there anything like confluence wise that you really look to check for to see what? Because like I can always see it after the fact, but I guess like before it seems like you almost like kind of predict it coming.
Yeah. So I mean, I look for like hard expansions and hard runs on price, right? So like I mean, higher time frame PD arrays, it's kind of hard for me to describe just because I've read price action. And I guess it's just, like if you have a higher time frame PD array and we aggressively come into it and it looks like we're not going to keep or we're not going to stop selling, that's technically when I'm like, okay, we're definitely going to start slowing down because look at all these rejections. We came rejected, rejected. It's just a lot of rejections until we hit into this 4 hour breaker and 1 hour FVG intertwine. Um, so really, like when I look for my super heavy, because if we would have rated a previous, let's see. So I come to the weekly, um, and I look for raids on the previous week lows like this or previous week highs. That's how you can really start to see them or previous day. And time and price. I mean, day, time. So Tuesday, Thursday, we definitely get a lot of our market maker buy models on those specific days, especially if we're coming in to these areas. It takes a while to predict them. But it's like, once you look at it like this, it makes a little more sense, right? Like when you look at it like a higher time frame FVG and you want to see a reaction out of it, it kind of makes sense when we start to sell, right? Like how we kind of filled this and held that price at the top. So really it's like you want to look for daily raids. You want to look for daily raids. That's how you can definitely predict them, but you also want to refine into a 4 and 1 hour or a lower time frame, 15 minute, you know. So most of the time, my best market maker buy models, because to me that wasn't that. Usually I can get like 400 points out of NAS out of a week. But I mean I did, but out of two entries, like one entry, I'd like to see 400 points. If I get that nice reaction off a weekly, so it really kind of just depends. Like if you see I have this weekly open, and I was definitely looking at that. And look, like there's a weekly volume imbalance right here. So like you can definitely look at it. Like look, see volume imbalance right here, weekly, new week opening gap. Boom, we came and filled it that one very manipulated week. And I'm pretty positive. Let's see. So that's how I personally kind of like, I guess, predict them. And it just takes a long time, like not a long time, but a lot of data collecting and seeing how it reacts. You know, what time of the week you would like to see it. So again, Tuesday, market maker buy model, right? So it's just really day of the week for me. Knowing the daily profiles is very key. I personally, I am obsessed with the Tuesday and Wednesday market maker buy and sell models. That's my personal bread and butter. But as you can see, let's see, 4 hour, right? Like look how aggressive we sold off, but we created this 4 hour trend line. Am I answering your question a little bit?
Yes.
Okay, bet. Um, so like just anticipating higher time frame PD arrays, like this to me was a double order block. I think I reviewed this, but we had a double order block in here, which would be an equivalent to like a daily order block, um, and we already came aggressively. So like once we start close, look at this previous high. Like we came and printed above it. Let's go to daily. I think you can only really no, you can see it off daily for sure. Let me get rid of this breaker real quick. So we held that. You know, look how we came into that. What was that? A Thursday. So we came in out of a Tuesday buy model, right? Finished on a Friday, which was a very heavily manipulated week, which I love to see. That was the week I missed my buy limit too, which was sickening. But yeah, we won't get into that. So basically, that that pretty much like that intermediate high right here and this low right here, we came and respected that opening price at that daily. So just watching these levels, marking out your open, high, low, close. You know, for me personally, Tuesday and Thursday are like my highest probability days for my personal model, which is this market maker buy model, intertwined with the 4 hour, 1 hour FVG. Um, so, you know, we came and held that opening price, and I was noticing that I'm always on daily, weekly, you know, and that's really how myself, Kit, anybody that kind of intraday swings, um, will catch these weekly expansions is off these higher time frame. Now, if we would have took out that Wednesday price on Thursday, I would have held all week because we would have got look. So Monday, Tuesday would have been entry. Thursday we broke on a Thursday, right? Thursday broke on a Thursday. So I'd anticipate that we would have came into this volume imbalance up here. Let's see. This daily volume imbalance. So that's what I was personally looking for, but like as you can see, like I'm just grabbing higher time frame PD arrays and what the mentor has taught and just coupling it into not just the 1 minute, but I'm also looking at daily, weekly. Um, it takes some practice, it takes some patience. He does teach scalping, which is very good. And I personally do scalp with the 2022 model as well. But the 2022 model is more so my entry technique. And this is some sauce. So, like, 2022 model is like my entry technique. And then, I play the market maker buy models and sell models off of the daily profiles of Tuesday and Thursday, because they're 75, 80, 90% accurate for me. Like, I know that I can sit on my hands and catch something on those days if that's how the algorithm wants to print. Now, if they don't, then I'll stick to my scalp. But hopefully this makes some sense. Am I kind of answering your question too? Like, does it kind of resonate with you, or am I missing? I can keep explaining it, but I'm just trying to make sure that I answer your question efficiently.
It does. It's just I think what it is I just need more practice with it. I didn't realize like on the higher time frame when you said like you look for like strong aggressive price runs.
Hmm.
That's a good idea. I didn't think about to do that.
Yeah, I mean, it's came through reps. I used to be a 1 hour, 4 hour. I've also been studying ICT for about 2.5 years, but like I didn't have the core content. So once I had that core content, it really kind of just upped my game and made me like month 8 for me was I mean, Kit put me on to month 8. I had watched it before, but as Napoleon Hill says, um, if you wait a year or like a few months after, it'll resonate a lot more. So month 8 really, 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 kind of hit me upside the head like, dang, like this is exact, like it gives me the confidence, like seeing, how he shows it. Um, and I think it's month 10, correct me if I'm wrong, but those daily profiles are really, really heavy. I need to get back into those to kind of up the score on that too. But Tuesday and Thursday are like my favorite personal days. So the higher time frame will show you it's like the book. Like the lower time frame is all the pages in between, but the book is what's solid, right? So like it shows you a lot, especially if you're watching. If you just sit there on Monday and watch on the daily time frame how we react, you're gonna be like, this is annoying. Like I don't even want to trade this for real. Just because you don't get as much volatility. Like sometimes I'll come to like 3 day too. I mean, even on 3 day, this was a super hardcore imbalance fill, right? And I like 6 day as well because that pretty much kicks off the whole week. Um, and I mean, look, like this is the close. That's the high. Um, so it's just little certain things that'll help you start to see. Look at that weekly. Look how we closed and came all the way down. We couldn't make it to the weekly opening price, but I mean, that's a nice indication that we're gonna hold this high. So even monthly, let's see. See, even monthly, let me take off all my lipstick. Um, Even off the monthly, I mean, you can use this. Like I didn't even look at the monthly. I'm not gonna lie to you. But that is a monthly breaker right there. So we held the top of that close on the monthly or the high. Sorry, the close would have been down here. Open, close. low, high. But here, let me outline that a little better. So this would have been the open, right? Open, high, close, low. Open, low, close, and high were kind of in the same area. Monday took out that price, which gave the indication for my market maker sell model on via ES. And then Tuesday gave the entry, right? And then Tuesday gave the entry for the market maker sell model, and then Thursday gave the entry for the market maker buy model. So that's why ICT says you can catch 2 setups a week. I mean, he codes his language in a real specific way. So this would be a monthly breaker held that high, right? And I didn't even peep that till just now. I'm not gonna lie to you. So yeah, when I take off my lipstick, it pretty much makes a little more sense probably. Um, Thursday we took out Wednesday's low, right? And then now we're probably gonna take out Wednesday's high and April's or sorry, April 4th high. Um, should definitely see that, and then we'll see what happens. We'll see what's gonna happen. You know, I've been eyeing this area for a hot minute, so would love to get some more questions if you guys have them. I'm gonna hop into my journaling technique, and bear with me because I couldn't find the file, so I had to take my printout of it and take a picture of it. But if anybody has questions, please. Um,
Um, Another question.
yeah.
Like I'm not sure if you know how to answer this, but like the 3 day look back, I was wondering like when that would start. Like just like for a week, if you were attempting to swing,
Mm-hmm.
like take one trade that way, how would you, I guess, kind of frame that?
3 day look back. Here, let me get a new chart. Let's see. So 3 day look back. You know, you could pretty much start. Let's see. I mean, you could start from previous day Friday because if you do the math or do the 3 days, I mean, ICT says don't include Sundays, because Sunday and Monday are necessarily the same to me because Sunday's not, it's not a full day. So you could start with like Friday, um, break. I mean, I personally I don't trade that, but I mean, you can look at like 3 days, 15. I mean, I'm starting to learn the IPDA look back, which is 20, 40, 60. Um, so I mean, I feel like Kit would be a better one to answer that, but Kit, if you're up here, help me out. But you could basically start from a previous Friday and one, two, three, I guess, right? And then, kind of get some kind of confluence within that. Um, yeah, I definitely think Kit would be a better one to answer that. Kit, if you're in
It's
here.
all good, but thank you.
Um, let's see. We could even go to YouTube and look, cause now you got me. I need to. Let's see. And you can see, I'm not perfect. I struggle with prop firms, but in my personal account, I don't know what it is. I'm way better. So let's see. 3 day IPDA look back. No shame in my game though. I'm a trader just like everybody else. I've blown multiple fundeds, gotten paid from them, all that. So yeah, I haven't actually watched this whole entire video. I don't think. So IPA data range, I would say this would definitely put you on game for that. Let's
That
see.
one, and Core Content Month 9. I think it's episode. I think there's 9 episodes in Core Content Month 9. It's towards the end of. Goes over pretty well the ADR, so you can calculate the average daily range. You take the last 5 days, and the ADR and IPTA is pretty well explained throughout Core Content Month 5, and then also with the institutional structure and understanding from Core Content Month 8 or 5. I'm sorry, and 5's just got a lot to it, but they definitely go over IPTA, seasonality, lots of stuff. So IPTA's good, and real quick, if you don't understand IPTA, the easy thing to do is just utilize from a high time frame analysis your monthly analysis. What are your highs and your lows? But you can refine that based off of IPTA, and then you can refine it even further based off of the power of 3.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll teach you guys more. We'll go over more of that. Why January 8th matters, and February 7th matters, and March 6th matters, and why I have such high confidence that within the first 3 days we're going to hit of this week that we're going to hit the February 7th high is because of the refined understanding I have of IPTA. So anyway, I'll get back on you.
January, February. Yeah, that's valid. Because we already took out that on NASDAQ. So
yeah, NASDAQ's got it. YM and ES are there's SMT divergence there. So NASDAQ's already taken the February 7th high, and the Dow and ES are lagging.
Facts.
So that's why with the propulsion block that just happened on the higher time frame, we can expect not to trade below the mean threshold of it with the body, and we should take off.
Yeah, facts. And I feel like that's why NAS was slow last week, is because we're waiting on that as well. Here, let me.
Yeah, 1,000%.
Let me try to. You know what? I want to get rid of all this.
The NWOG that we were trading in as well is pretty sick. I mean, I won't go over it on a screen, but even OTE. If you guys don't understand OTE, it's a pretty short, kind of rapid series, but it helps with market structure, grabbing the proper high and low, and seeing where and how. Like there's OT off that for sure.
Yeah, definitely.
But you start to train your eye, and you can see where OTE is coming from, where price is retracing back to its 70% level of the full size of the range. And then those are low drawdown, high probability trades as well.
Facts. Yeah, that's super facts. So let's see. I'm trying to find that new.
Yeah, that's OTE right there.
Yeah, exactly. 70% after that breakout, right?
Yep, you just take that leg right there, that price leg, and you'll see where it's sitting on 70% right now, 78. Or take the price leg from the high to the low, the latest. Yeah.
You'd say right here.
Yeah. Well, that's at 50, but it dropped down. Yeah, and then throw OTE on there. Just drop the 70 on there.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep.
So we may come back down. We may come back.
I'm sure just with manipulation that we are, it's how far we go. I don't think we'll drop below 50 though. No. I mean that'll be the fun part to watch. It's hard to call prices confidently as I do sometimes, but I'm usually somewhat accurate.
Yeah, somewhat, right? You just call 30 handle moves and people fade you, but we'll save that for a different conversation.
Yep. Don't fade me, bro.
Don't fade me, bro. So I like this low too. I love this low.
That's a t-shirt. Don't fade me, bro.
Bro, it's like my favorite.
Hey, if you
hashtag.
guys are on this call, do me a favor and tag me and hashtag don't fade me, bro, and say anything you want. I don't even care. Like, I want to retweet as many people saying don't fade me, bro, as possible.
I fucking love it. Not gonna lie.
Well, what's funny is when they fade me and then they literally go stop loss. Everyone that faded me goes stop loss, and I'm like, that's a 25-point handle move. Thank you.
Yeah, like thanks for building liquidity, but that's cool.
It's a retracement on an obvious leg going up, just like the high time frame.
See, and last week was actually pretty nice for a power of 3. I mean, I don't think we actually complete. Oh, we did actually complete it. We closed right above that previous week close. Closed right above that previous week high. So,
we're in the NWOG like crazy. If you look at those NWOGs and NDOGs, it's been we're in a really the consolidation there. It's all within an NWOG.
Yeah, facts. So let's see.
ICT said he's going to drop some new shit this week, so I'm excited for that.
Yeah, I can't wait.
Adding some bullets to the gun.
Man, he's just building us up to be crazy elite. Like, I'm not gonna lie. This was a nice end dog.
So are you almost done, Trav? We've been going for 3 hours straight. We got to let these good people go.
I know.
Get back to dinner and other shit.
So let me go through this real quick. This is my entry data log. I would technically say this was my page 1. I know it looks choppy, so I'm gonna have to remake it. But this, I personally put, this is like my template on how I personally journal into my physical journal. How am I feeling today? What's my emotions like? Am I in the right mental state to trade? And then 3 things that I'm grateful for. Have I drank water? Yes. So this is like a checklist. 1 to 2, 5 available. Yes. High probability market conditions. Yes, no. Are you in New York or London kill zone? And then I have my kill zones right under that. I'll send this out once I remake it. It may be tomorrow or tonight. I know everybody's kind of on different times, but so then my entry data log, and again, I do all this. This is like my template on what I write into my journal, not necessarily printing out new pages, but you can, which would be smart. I was doing it for a while, but I kind of want to make a book, like a journal book for my own personal. I might, on my journey, redo it, but remaster it. But so full date, time, order flow, order flow, month, week, day, 4 hour. What are we doing? Right? What is price? It'll just keep you locked in. What quarter are we in? Session. I only trade New York necessarily. Gonna start trying to stay up with Kid, but it's hard for me. Time, type of news release, high impact news driver. I'm a news trader. I absolutely love news. So time, news release, entry, stop loss, take profit. Right. This is, and again, I will send this into the chat once I recomplete it. But this is basically how I journal personally. Some self-reflection. What am I grateful for? Put you in the right state. Drink some water. That's very, very key. Drinking like 2 cups of water for me. Get your brain fluid. And yeah, this is like a checklist of accountability for me. So yeah, if anybody has questions about that, but I think it's pretty straightforward. But yeah, we'll cut it short. If anybody has questions, let me know. I'd love to answer some questions. Let me go check the chat too. Got a bunch of.
There's a lot of folks here. It seems like so.
Yeah.
It's nice.
nice that everyone stayed around. We'll try and be respectful of your time.
I know.
That, you know.
Sorry for going crazy, but
No, dude. I feel like I'm the one that went crazy. I overran. So, but
no, it's cool.
you know.
So, is this recorded? Yes, it is recorded. Both.
It's all recorded. I'm gonna try and get it, just so you guys know, I'm gonna try and get it like video edited and kind of cleaned up, and we're gonna get better with content delivery, and that's part of just the crawl, walk, run kind of process that is. So I just ask that you be patient. I'm trying to over deliver on content and value. So where we might be short or weak, it's just because we're working out bugs.
Yeah.
So I patiently ask that, or I ask that you guys be patient with me, with the team, and we're going to get it a lot better, a lot more cleaned up, and a lot more, delivered professionally.
Yeah.
So
please upload ASAP. Yeah, of course. Trav, do you trade full time? I do not. I mean, how do I put this? So I have my own landscaping business, right? So I technically, like, coming into the next few weeks, it's gonna be mainly landscaping in the morning, but I'll be out of my trades or having a runner by like 11. So I'll be out the door by 9 my time, which is 11, so before lunch. So I don't trade full time. It definitely supplements a lot of my income, though. I cannot lie. I've been living off a trade account for the last like 3 months, but thank you, kid. Active practice is showing. It's all good, bro. Like it's just reps and experience. Like the more you force yourself to get up on the chart every single morning, you will definitely start to see more consistency, and it just becomes habit. It takes like value-wise, it trumped a whole year's worth of studying 3 hours.
Hey, that's good. I like hearing that. I mean, again, the content delivery, I have, very high goals set, and it just takes time to get there. You got to crawl, walk, run, and exactly. It's just being patient and asking that you guys be patient too. So
yeah, it's just.
But we're getting there. I mean, we'll get things uploaded quicker. We'll have fewer technical issues, and it'll be cleaner, better edited, more kind of branded towards who we are and what we're about. Like I've got a lot of aspirational goals. Again, it just takes time. Everyone's kind of busy, kind of trying to do a lot of this stuff. Quite frankly, on the fly. I mean, it's my stuff that's coming out of my brain to try and add value to you with my team. Trav's, on my team.
Most definitely.
So Market Fiend's on my team. We got a lot of really good folks on the team. Behind the scenes, there's quite a few folks. We're trying to. I haven't, we haven't really launched yet, quite honestly. So, trying to build up more content, more archives, some legit stuff. I've got over 500 hours of recorded content that I got to get video edited and kind of sift through the jade of different streams and stuff from the last couple months. So that's the goal. It's a process. So
yeah, it's definitely a process. It's just gonna get more refined as we go, and yeah, it's just a matter of time. Like, I've been at this for like I'm going on like 3.5 years, so it'll be 4 in July. So yeah, like 3.5 years now. So but I've been studying ICT seriously with no mentors like Kit or like no community, just by myself for the first like 2 years. So this last few months I've been around the community, and yeah, he said he's
and I mean I do mentor Trav. So
yeah,
not that I'm all that, but I kind of think I'm finding my own. So
Yeah, and I mean, you've definitely helped me with psychology and, seeing different things that I don't normally look at. Like, it's just having kids' perspective for me is like, it's like having that mentor I haven't had. ICT is great, but we don't get mentored one on one. Um, you guys are funny, bro. Yeah, I have been living off my trading account for about 3 months, but
Trav's a legit trader, man. He's a super legit trader. So I'm trying to help him get to the next level, trying to help you guys get to the next level. I mean, we get stronger together, you know?
yeah,
So
seriously,
it kind of just takes time, you know?
it really
So
does. It's just show up every day. The biggest thing for me, show up every day. Try to spend as much time in the session that you want to trade every single day. Try to stay at it every single day. Just consistency with this.
1% better every single day.
That's
That's the
it.
goal.
Like,
And if you can hold on to that, then 1% better, that compounds every
yeah,
day, every week. I mean, I study. As much as I'm delivering content to you guys, I spend a lot of time studying myself. Like the fine mind technique means that you want to learn to be able to teach, and you want to teach and learn. So a good student is a good teacher, and I honestly believe it makes you a better trader. I've become a far better trader in kind of a teacher mentor role than I ever was by myself. So
straight up.
yeah, and I think we're in a good environment, guys. I mean, it's about being constructive and helping and being supportive and being a community, and we do that on on the live stream and in the podcast. But more importantly, we do it in here. We can be tighter knit in here and really engage with each other. And I'll say this on a closing note: weekly templates, not just weekly templates, but daily templates. If you want to know where daily templates are, if you trade the indexes, they're in Core Content Month 10,
Yeah.
episode 5 and on. Like we should be in here really tightly looking for, was it a classic buy day, classic sell day? Was it a consolidation day? You want to be finding these templates as soon as they happen, as soon as you can identify it. And the more you can understand and trade templates, the more you're going to be able to train your eye. I mean, what I showed you today in looking at a higher time frame rejection block is the beginning of a market maker buy model or a sell model. And when you take that rejection block off of a time specific thing, or you identify it from the 3 candles within that bearish order flow creating bullish order flow, you can and you will see some very high probable scenarios that, I mean, if you would have, very, very little to no drawdown, and risking $50, risking $125. I'm someone, and it might not be a popular opinion, but I control my stop loss. I don't control my take profit. So I'm far more interested into snipering into a trade and then finding where and how to build into that position, and then be taking off and adding on contracts as I'm in the win and as you're in the green. And I'm going to show you guys how to do that. And that takes a regular trade. Trade management's not something that we jumped too much into, but that's where the real skill is, right? So trade management, once we get into these low drawdown, you get some more confidence, and you utilize these best practices that that I advocated pretty hard today. I bet you didn't think order block theory was going to be what it was today. So I hope it was more than that, and more importantly, helping you guys find your own confidence. Focus on demo. I mean, if you stay here and you stick around for a couple months, you'll be managing some funded trades, and you're going to become a funded trader, and you're going to be able to make money managing risk in your own psychology. And these low drawdown, high return trades are how you do it. And they're not really talked about enough on social media because the audience is too large. But in here, we can really sharpen our swords and really make it happen. So Anyway,
Yeah,
again, I don't mean to
facts.
usurp yourself, Trav, but I do want to let these good people go.
I
And
know.
if you guys want to hang out in the Discord and chat or whatever, there's like a student lounge. If you wanted a voice thing where you wanted to, I encourage you guys, go in there and treat it like chill. One of you guys just decide to share your screen and kind of go over stuff, ask some questions. Like, the more we're a community, we're stronger together,
Straight up.
And Trav will hang out, I'll hang out, whatever. But
Yeah.
if you guys want to kick it, the chat's cool. Try and utilize the channels for what they are too. Like, everyone posts shit in the general chat. It'd be nice if we could try and I've restructured the channels like 10 times, trying to make them efficient. But if we can be posting kind of stuff there, and if you guys even have questions on how to post stuff there, but there's a student lounge kind of chat area. You could exit here and go there, and then, share the mic, everyone's drop the mic. It's not it's not quite the education classroom scenario. It's shoot the shit and back ideas off of things. And I mean, most importantly, guys, these concepts, I want you guys to be back testing them, and you should be taking notes. And yes, there is in the suggestion box, there's a lot of ways in which we can get better, but we can get better a lot faster if we're all kind of working towards the same goal. So your content can help deliver the core content of what we're doing in here. And that 45-minute kind of order block with the projections and the very beginning of a low risk market maker model is hopefully what you guys saw today.
Yeah, facts. And back onto that, if anybody wants to tap in, if you have questions and want to DM me or don't want to ask it in, hit me up. I'm very available. I love talking. This is my passion. So you guys will see a lot more of me too. If you guys are in the or in the student social, just tag me and I'll hop up in there too. And like Kit said, I'll probably be streaming what's it called? A live price action. I don't like to call it live trading because sometimes I don't trade.
No, it's about reading price. It really is.
Just going through price. How you guys can see my psychology through when we hit certain levels, and just stuff like that. It's very key hearing how Kit has gone through his as well as help sharpen my sword too. So
Market Fiend is looking to do the same thing, so that there is a handful of folks. And then if you guys want to just jump in and you want to read price, jump in. You'd be surprised that when you kind of take the stage, some people's personalities, it's good that you sit there and try and read price real time, and you create these checklists and these kind of rules for yourself. And you'd be surprised at how you hold yourself accountable. And even if you're in a demo, no one's going to crucify you for choosing to click a button in a demo account. You can be like, this is going to be, preface it with, as you're narrating, this might not be as high probability, but I want to take it anyway, and I want to see what happens. You'd see if, we respect the mean threshold of this order block, or, if we're going to accumulate in the specific zone as I think it will. And if you're even unsure with that, go back and kind of watch some of my live streams, guys. I'm trying to put that content out there so you can kind of see real time how it happens, right? Like, and calling out specific levels and whatnot. Like, I want you guys to learn, and it's going to be through engagement, through practice, and through, community. So
yeah, straight up. And that's I'll definitely announce if we're in high probability for me personally, or like if I'm in high probability, I'm most likely popping, and I'm gonna tell you where I would take an entry, but I'm not gonna tell you I'm in my live account popping because I don't want to influence anybody. But yeah, but I appreciate you, kid. Thanks for. I'm gonna stop the recording right now.